This 26 Sports and CCTV high school football presentation is brought to you by Wolverine Power Cooperative and Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you. And by Munson Healthcare Cadillac Rehab Services.
Welcome back to Lake City High School. We just witnessed the 2019 crowning of the homecoming king for the Lake City Trojans, and it happens to be one of the young men that is actually playing tonight. Tyler McGinnis was crowned homecoming king as we begin our third quarter action. We're tied up on the 26 Sports and CCTV Michigan High School football game of the week between the McBain Ramblers and the Lake City Trojans, 7-7. As we head into the third quarter, I am Derek Tate, and to catch you up if you are just now joining us on this broadcast, it was the McBain Ramblers that struck first. It was a 70-yard touchdown pass from George Brown III to Ethan Barton, who lateraled it at the last second at the 10-yard line to Gavin Sealand to get the Ramblers out in front 7-0. And it was Lake City, the Trojans. They responded with a 26-yard touchdown run from Jack Pedler. And it's going to be the Trojans that have the ball first to begin the third quarter. A good kick. This one goes to Tyler McGinnis at the 15-yard line. McGinnis has got some running room up the left sideline. McGinnis into McBain territory. Only has to beat the kicker. See you later. Touchdown, Lake City. 85-yard touchdown return from Tyler McGinnis. And it's the homecoming king who puts the ball into the end zone and gives the Trojans a 6-point lead. And I'm going to have to dial it back, as unfortunately the King stepped out at the 31-yard line, and that takes 7 points off the board. I humbly apologize, as I got a little ahead of myself. I saw the crowd erupt, saw him go all the way into the end zone, but still great field position for Lake City to start the second half. First down at the 31-yard line. Hunter Bisbal working out of the shotgun. Handoff goes to Jack Pedler. Pedler dragged down by Owen Bonico. And Bonico headed into tonight as McBain's leading tackler. And he's added to that total. He's been active. He had 4 tackles in the first half. 2nd and 9 for Lake City. Bisbal working out of the shotgun. Now designed quarterback sweep. Able to sidestep one tackler. But great pursuit from George Brown III. Dragging him down just at the 30-yard line. They avoid losing any yardage, but it's still going to bring up 3rd and 9 for Lake City. We had some stats in the first half. Hunter Bisbal, 10 of 12, efficient through the air. Was not really able to chunk the Ramblers' defense through the air. This is a passing situation on 3rd and 9. Hunter Bisbal out of the shotgun. He's got 4 wide receivers. McGinnis and Marion at the bottom of your screen. And he's going to McGinnis. Leaping grab by Tyler McGinnis. And he steps out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. They needed 9. McGinnis got 10. First down, Lake City. And Lake City has yet to hold a lead in their homecoming game for 2019. Last year, they edged out McBain with a 14-12 victory. They're trying to take their first lead here at homecoming night in Lake City High School. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Bisbal working out of the shotgun. Option left. And he cuts it upfield. Met by a host of Ramblers defenders led by Ricardo Vergara. Gain of a couple. You had the cat and mouse game with the outside linebacker on that option left. I was a little surprised Bisbal did not go to the pitch. He had Pedler waiting for the ball. He decided to keep it. 2nd and 8 for Lake City. Bisbal. Quick completion to McGinnis. McGinnis puts his shoulder down. Good coverage. And a tackle in the open field by Caden McGillis. And they've gone to that quick throw over to Tyler McGinnis on multiple occasions. You saw what he could do to start the second half out in the open field. Gain of 3. That is going to make it 3rd and 6. At the 16-yard line, just under the 9-minute mark, still tied up at 7. The Trojans looking for their first lead of the game. Bisbal working out of the shotgun, 4 wide receiver set. Marion in motion, play action. Got his man on the slant, touchdown, Lake City! And this time, the homecoming king, this one counts. 16-yard touchdown reception, Bisbal to McGinnis. And Lake City leads 13-7. That had the look of an RPO. Bisbal put the ball in the gut of Pedler and then right on the 8. And here's the extra point attempt. And that one splits the upright as Dos Santos tacks on the extra point. And Lake City has their first lead of the game with 9:02 remaining in the third quarter. They're up 14-7. And again, I want to go ahead and take the time to thank our sponsors for allowing us to bring you this Michigan High School football game of the week here on 26 Sports and CCTV. And this is presented by Munson Healthcare, Cadillac Hospital, Wolverine Power Cooperative, and Great Lakes Energy. Fox Motors of Cadillac, your local Ford and Toyota dealerships. LC Materials, the concrete experts. Doug Glass of Cadillac for all your home and auto glass needs. Tasty Treat in Lake City. Stop by the Tasty Treat to get your dinner before every big game or go afterwards, because we will be wrapping up here pretty shortly. We still got plenty of football action. I'm just kidding with you. But check them out. The team at Tasty Treat is wishing the Lake City Trojans the best of luck this season. Best Demolition, your local home wrecker. They can wreck anything you need. Pancho Villa and Mexican Grill in Lake City, featuring Monday specials like 5 beef or chicken enchiladas for only $5. Lake City Family Pharmacy and McBain Family Pharmacy for all your prescription and vaccination needs. Bowman and Rogers in Lake City, your local accounting team. McBain Building Products, your local hometown lumberyard for over 30 years with hundreds of collective years and staff experience. Here's the kickoff. And back to receive at the 9-yard line. That's Dan Rodenbaugh. And Rodenbaugh's got some room to run. And he's finally brought down past the 30-yard line at the 32. That's where McBain will start with their first offensive possession of the second half. We get another look at George Brown III. His return under center. Mixed results. 1 touchdown pass through the air. Also 1 interception. And we've seen a lot of number 12, Ethan Barton. We've seen also on a couple of occasions Josh Hart. Rodenbaugh, the leading rusher of the Ramblers, really bottled up in the first half as McBain starts out of the shotgun on 1st and 10. And they fake the jet sweep. And charging forward is George Brown III into the teeth of the Lake City defense. He's brought down just shy of the 35-yard line. 2nd and 7 for McBain. George Brown III working out of the shotgun in motion again. This time he gives it to Gavin Seelan. Seelan bending it around the left side. Sidesteps one would-be tackler and stiff arms another before he's finally shoved out of bounds by Joshua Shively. Right past the 40-yard line. He had to get to the 42 to move the sticks. That's going to be awfully close. And the head referee gives the signal. First down, Ramblers. And Gavin Seeland scored his 4th touchdown of the season earlier in unorthodox fashion. But here's a first down for McBain at the 42-yard line. Brown working out of the shotgun. Rolling to his right. He's got some room to run. He's going to tuck it down and attempt to slide before he's brought down by Benjamin Marion. There is a flag, and it's going to be against McBain. It's going to be a holding call. They're going to back him up 10 yards from the spot of the foul at the 38-yard line. It's going to bring up a first and 24 for the Ramblers. We've seen George Brown III do some great things in his first action after getting nicked up. He spread the ball around quite a bit. We saw Rodenbaugh with a reception. We saw Josh Hart with a couple receptions. 5 receptions for Ethan Barton in the first half. And we did see Gavin Seelick on a wheel route up the right sideline in the first quarter to set up their first score. But they're backed up here, first and 24. Brown's pass complete to Barton. And he's gang tackled at the 36-yard line, leading the charge for the Trojans defense. In the area, number 9, that's Benjamin Marion. Under the 8-minute mark, Trojans lead 14-7 over the McBain Ramblers. Both of these teams 1-1 in the Highland League here. Both trying to climb the standings. Second down, play action. Brown looking for Rodenbaugh, and he is separated from the football. Big hit by number 10. Flying up is Hunter Bisball. Not only does he handle the duties under center, but he's not afraid to stick his head in there. Separates Rodenbaugh from the football. Incomplete pass is going to bring up 3rd and long. George Brown III rolling right, throwing across his body. A little bit of a dangerous throw, but falls harmlessly to the turf. Here's 3rd down. Bad snap, and Brown has no choice but to fall on it. It was Elian Schichtel bearing down on him. Loss on the play for McBain. And that's going to bring on the punting unit. McBain with its 5th punt of the night. Sebastian Matson has on multiple occasions showed that this man has a boot. Back to receive is Butkovich. Lake City brings a little bit of pressure. This one, not what Lake City was looking for not what McBain was looking for. Lake City is going to start with fantastic field position, as they're going to be just shy of midfield. That punt nets 16 yards. And the Trojans will look to add to their 14-7 advantage over the Ramblers. 6:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And it was Tyler McGinnis on a 16-yard touchdown reception to get Lake City out in front. Jack Pedler up the middle, and the ball's on the ground. It does appear that Lake City, fortunately, back on the ball. And Johnny on the spot is Joshua Shively, who falls on it for Lake City. Forced fumble by big old number 66, Kagan Yaklin. And with the exception of that 126-yard scamper from Pedler in the first half, there hasn't been much real estate to run on up the middle against this Rambler defense. 2nd and 11. Bisball under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. That play never stood a chance. Knifing through the A-gap and registering the sack is Owen Bonico. That's a loss of 8 on the play, and there is a flag back at the 40-yard line. All you saw was a sea of white jerseys. It is a penalty on McBain. But it's going to bring up 3rd down just under the 6-minute mark. Lake City out in front 14-7 as you are catching the Michigan High School Football Game of the Week on 26 Sports and CCTV. Hunter Bisball working out of the shotgun. He sets up the screen to Pedler, and Pedler's got a convoy up the left sideline. back into Rambler territory, but dropped well shy of the sticks. We're going to get a decision here from head coach Kyle Smith. Gain of 13. It's still going to bring up 4th and 6 for Lake City. And at check that, it appears a little bit of confusion. It is 4th down. And that Lake City offense stays on the field. Hunter Bisball with 4 wide receivers. The Trojans are going for it. Bisball to McGinnis. Complete. McGinnis falling forward past the 40-yard line. Another first down for Lake City. And it's clear that Coach Kyle Smith likes the matchup between Tyler McGinnis down on the bottom of your screen going against Caden McGillis. If you're head coach Maloney, there's a lot of cushion there. I know that Tyler McGinnis has breakaway speed, but if you're going to line up 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, they'll take 4 or 5 yards all day. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Bisball sidesteps one Rambler, but then stacked up, leading the charge, Kagan Yaklin. Bisball able to gain 1 yard on the play. That defense has been stout up front for the Ramblers. Pedler, the leading rusher in the first half, with 32 yards and a touchdown. Here's 2nd and 9. Marion in motion. And there's a lot of movement and laundry prior to the snap, and this one is going to go against Lake City. Illegal procedure against the Trojans. That's the 3rd illegal procedure pre-snap penalty on the Trojans tonight. That'll back up the Trojans to the 44-yard line. 2nd and a long, 14. You can call it 15. Trojans working out of the shotgun. Bisball with Pedler to his left. Marion in motion. Play action. Bisball wants McGinnis. That one in and out of the hands of Tyler McGinnis. Tight coverage, Rodenbaugh and McGillis in the area. Made that a very tough throw. Bisball put it on the mark. Unable to reel it in was the homecoming king. I mean, not prom time yet. Bring up 3rd and 14 for Lake City. And we've got a capacity crowd here tonight at Lake City High School for the 2019 homecoming game. Bisball working out of the shotgun, trying to pick up this 3rd and 14. Hard count, and that is going to give the Trojans a free 5 yards. Encroachment. I would tell you who it was on, but it was the entire defensive line for the McBain Ramblers jumping across. We haven't seen Bisball go to the hard count. This makes it a little bit 3rd and manageable. 9 yards to go. They got to get to the 29 to move the sticks. Bisball out of the shotgun. Looking for McGinnis, and that one off the mark. Incomplete pass will bring up 4th and 9 at the 38-yard line. And decision time yet again for Coach Kyle Smith. Kind of in no man's land. A punt can only really net you 30 yards. And you're not in field goal range. And that leads to Bisball and the offense going out there again for Lake City. And Bisball has 4 wide receivers to work with. Pedler to his right. 4th and 9 for Lake City. Bisball in trouble, buying some time. He's going to tuck it down and run. He's got the first down. Move the sticks for Lake City, but a ton of laundry at the top of your screen. We're going to have to sort out maybe multiple infractions. And I see the McBain Ramblers number 62, Lucas Skolton, clapping in approval. One of those may be against the Trojans. And that would wipe out a 13-yard scramble to convert on 4th and 9. We're waiting on the white cap, the head referee. Trying to sort out this mess. Holding on Lake City. And it remains 4th down. So from the spot of the foul, which was right up around the sticks, it was actually holding from 1 yard past the sticks, so we'll do 4th and 9 all over again. Bisball out of the shotgun. Marion in motion. Back to pass. Looking for McGinnis into double coverage. That one intercepted by Dan Rodenbaugh. That is the 3rd time they have motioned to trips and tried to get the backside post to McGinnis. This time, Rodenbaugh read it like a book, and that's the first interception of the night for Hunter Bisball. And McBain, the defense comes up big to keep this a one-score game with 3:14 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And George Brown III has a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Back to pass. Brown rolling right. Into the dirt, that one trapped by Ethan Barton. The intended target, he had him open. Pass a little low. The incompletion will bring up 2nd and 10. We've seen George Brown, when he wants to scramble and try to buy some time to look downfield, he tends to roll right. Second and 10 for McBain from the 15. And here's Gavin Seelig. Seelig sidesteps one would-be tackler, but holding on for dear life is Fernando Pena. Pena drags him down after a gain of 4 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down for McBain. We've seen that little motion a couple times where Rodenbaugh winds up behind George Brown III. First time we've seen Seelig get the ball out of that look. 3rd down and 6. Brown rolling left. He's looking for Rodenbaugh, and a great catch from Rodenbaugh in traffic. Shoved down at the 28-yard line. A big conversion for McBain. And that'll move the sticks. Head coach Maloney trying to build a little bit of momentum. 2:27 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Lake City with a 7-point advantage, up 14-7. McBain picks up a 3rd down conversion. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Brown back to pass yet again. Rolling right. Throws across his body, and that one intercepted. The 2nd interception of the night. And funny enough, Hunter Bisball gets it right back after throwing a pick of his own. There is a flag that was down late after the play, so we're going to see if this is defensive pass interference. It's holding on Lake City. That takes the interception off the board and, more importantly, keeps possession for McBain. And that wipes out what was a great defensive effort from Hunter Bisball. Holding against Lake City. It is confirmed, and that holding call was prior to the interception. So the interception is wiped off the board. And that'll give McBain another 1st down, and it advances the ball to the 38-yard line. A big break for the Ramblers. And a botch snap. Brown was able to fall on it, but more laundry prior to the snap. Legal procedure against McBain. And that'll back him up an additional 5 yards to make it 1st and 15. After seeing a pretty clean first half, devoid of penalties left and right, we've seen both teams shooting themselves in the foot on a couple of occasions. And in this scenario, it makes it 1st and 15 for the Ramblers. Empty set for George Brown III. Rodenbaugh in motion, and another mishandled snap. Brown able to fall on it yet again, but McBain's going in the wrong direction. George Brown III falls on it at the 25-yard line. And a 1st and 15. It's going to be 2nd and 23 for the Ramblers. Just at the 1 minute and 30-second mark. The only touchdown scored in the third quarter so far, Tyler McGinnis. Here's 2nd and 23, and the third consecutive play where Brown has not been able to handle the snap. Luckily, his tailback, Gavin Seelan, falls on top of it. McBain continues to hold on to possession barely, as they can't seem to get the most basic of fundamentals executed. The quarterback and center exchange. 3rd and 27 as we just went under the 1 minute mark here at Lake City High School. Trojans still clinging to a 7-point advantage. Ramblers with 3rd and long. Brown looking for his man in the flat. That one almost a pick six into heavy traffic. Joshua Shively, his eyes must have gotten wide. That pass was heading right for him, just didn't have enough mustard. And the Ramblers got to feel fortunate to get out of these last 3 plays without a turnover. And that brings on Sebastian Matson to punt. His 6th punt of the night. Back to receive is Taylor Butkovich. Matson gets a good boot on this one. High end-over-end punt and takes a Rambler bounce all the way to the 31-yard line where it is downed. 3rd possession of Lake City on the way. They still lead 14-7 over the Ramblers on this Michigan High School football game of the week on 26 Sports and CCTV. I'm Derek Tate here on 2019 homecoming night at Lake City High School. Hunter Bisball threw an ill-advised interception into double coverage. Dan Rodenbaugh jumped the post route to end the last drive. Now a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Reverse and barely brought in was Joshua Shively. That play blown up by Ethan Barton. Big loss on the play, and that might be the final play of the third quarter at Lake City High School. We're now 6-5, and that will be the final play of the third quarter here at Lake City High School on 2019 homecoming night. The Trojans take their first lead of the game, and they head into the 4th and final quarter, up 14-7 over the McBain Ramblers. We're going to have more high school football action on the other side here on 26 Sports and CCTV.